Okay, so my responsibility as a product manager is for the protocol stack and also our relationships with semiconductor vendors for licensing that stack. So the others have talked about the range of applications that Ant is growing into. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that we're doing at the base level of the protocol and the stack capabilities that will enhance the flexibility, the performance, and the efficiency of Ant for all of these expanding new applications. From smart homes to cycling and everything in between, there are a number of common elements that we're developing for these expanded applications. So 10 years ago, when Ant enabled the first sport monitoring applications, things were pretty simple, with needs for maybe one connection, maybe up to 3 connections. But even sport and fitness isn't so simple any longer. And the applications that Ant is making its way into have needs for connectivity that handles much more than just a handful of nodes. And so things like corporate wellness, livestock monitoring, as James mentioned, or control and monitoring applications in the home. Evolving applications have needs for more channels, added security, higher numbers of nodes, and the ability to move more data through a network. And in keeping with the way all of our simple Ant applications have been developed, they need to be able to access this functionality in a way that's efficient for power consumption, and it's easy to implement. So the protocol and the stack enhancement features that we got on our roadmap build in additional capability to address the application needs that are all evolving. So I'll go in and describe these in more detail. In July, we introduced the scalable channels feature. And this was introduced on the first device. It allows developers to connect more accessories to a receiver and thereby increase the ability to collect and share information across an Ant network. The NRF51 now supports up to 15 Ant channels. And the app specifies the number of nodes to use on a channel, on a node, I should say, from 1 to the maximum number supported. So for 51, in this case, it's 15 channels. And the benefit is optimized RAM usage for the channels that scales. So it's useful in applications like the connected bike, where you have many, many connections coming off of, say, the bike computer, or where there's a dense group of interconnected nodes. With scalable channels also comes scalable encryption capability, increasing the flexibility for applications to actually implement data security in a way that's efficient. So the app can choose the encryption capability only on the needed channels and scales up to the maximum number of channels as well. So you can have up to 15 encrypted channels on an NRF51. And this saves RAM on the channels that don't actually require the capability. And along with these scalability features, we also implemented another resource management option and made the size of the transmit burst buffers configurable by the application as well. So for applications without latency concerns, you can use a small buffer and free up RAM space. Or for some throughput efficiency, you can gain that through using a larger buffer and reduce the need for the application to service the transmit burst. It's useful, say, in the scenario where you've got external flash and you're also trying to do simultaneous transmit bursts. So this year, we introduced more configurability for the connections, for the encryption, and for RAM management. And our next round of capability for the protocol is going to be focused on supporting more nodes. So high node count applications often present the need for a dynamic management of a situation and can mean that you need to acquire and exchange data with multiple nodes efficiently and quickly. So in the first part of 2016, we're going to focus on putting uplink functions on Ant search on platforms. So this will extend the capability that's currently available with continuous scanning, a bidirectional capability, to background scanning, which is much more power efficient than continuous scanning. In continuous scanning, your receiver is on all the time. With background scanning, it's on intermittently and is thereby more power efficient. So what it means now is that battery-operated devices can actually receive asynchronous transmissions from multiple nodes. You can transmit back to them immediately on that uplink without any delay or the need to open another connection. And you can simultaneously maintain other active connections in a network. A bit later in 2016, we're looking at adding new channel type capability to Ant, which will be optional. And it'll add a higher data throughput for the benefit of existing applications. And it'll also have some features that'll complement the high node count scenarios as well. So we're planning for this channel type to have variable length packets for additional payload and to have frequency hopping for additional interference immunity. So the goal is for the nodes to be able to communicate their capabilities to each other, that they support if they support the new type, and then be able to transition into the new channel type if it's supported on both ends of the link. So the intention here is for everything to be backward compatible and to be able to access these new features if they're supported by the nodes in the network. So this could be used in applications where, say, sensors have a higher amount of data to push to various nodes in a network, or say in the picture shown here where you've got connected home for control and monitoring, and you've got a high density of nodes interconnected in the same place that have maybe some higher RF interference in that situation. So the frequency hopping would come in helpful there. So potential futures, what we're looking at is to maybe enable a 2 megabit per second mode to gain a bit of performance efficiency again. So with a higher data rate on air, your radio is on for less time, and you do get a bit more power efficiency out of that. And it all does its part toward contributing to smaller batteries in end devices or longer lasting sensors, say. Beyond that, we're also looking at extending channel periods to something below our current half a hertz minimum, which will provide the ability to maintain connections on a continual basis with devices that broadcast at very low rates. And this is good, as I said, for continuous monitoring applications of, say, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, that have very strict power requirements in order to be able to keep the device running for lengthy periods of time. And there's potential for also looking at time synchronization and providing apps with the access to more accurate synchronization capability across multiple nodes. So this would be in a localized, say, a star-based network. So as we expand these ANT capabilities, we're going to roll this out through 2016 and 2017 on new platforms as integration opportunities come available. And as James said, in the near term, we're really pleased to be continuing our collaboration with Nordic for 52 and delivering ANT capability on that platform. And that'll be where the initial new ANT features will be made available first on the stacks for that platform. So new for NRF 52, as James said again, is our organization will be providing the stacks with ANT capability for that platform. And we will have the ANT standalone stack as the S212 and the ANT combined concurrent Ant BLE stack as the S332. It's always good to remember the numbers, what they actually mean. So these initial alpha releases for evaluation will contain, on the Ant capability side, the latest features that we introduced. So up to 15 scalable channels, the scalable encryption support, and the configurable transmit buffer size. And on the BLE side, it'll include Nordic's S132 soft device for their alpha release, which had the support for 3 central and 1 peripheral connection, along with the observer and broadcaster roles. So at this time, the NRF 51, we have no new Ant capability planned for that platform. So when will you get access to it? We're in the very final stages of completing the website and the licensing associated with making the alpha Ant stacks available for this platform. So in the session this afternoon, we'll go into more details about how to access those stacks and the process involved with doing that. And we're looking to have this made available to people for use. We're expecting it'll be available by mid-October. So not too much longer. So just to wrap up, before Thomas talks more to you about the actual 52 platform, I'll let you know that we do have, there are bookable sessions with all of the product managers for individual discussion on Thursday afternoons or Friday morning. And we're all looking forward to talking to you about Ant, your applications, and expanding all the possibilities together. So thank you.